Alright, so I'm going to be posting this before my videos, guys, and you can partake in it or not, but we're going to do some singing bowls and I'm going to say a little prayer. And you're welcome to just sit and relax and free your mind up before the reading with me. I just wanted to do this. I'll timestamp it, so if you want to go straight to your reading, that's fine too. So we're going to go ahead and start. Take a deep breath. I call upon light and all beings whom serve only love and light. I ask you, angels, ancestors, and light beings, to cleanse and protect this space. Ask for your protection and guidance so that your divine sight can be delivered with love and healing for the greatest good. I ask you, angels, ancestors, and guides, to assist those whom these messages are meant for, to assist them on their journey of healing and spiritual growth. I appreciate your unconditional love and guidance. Thank you, angels, guides, ancestors, and Lord of Love. Amen. Okay, guys, so singing bowls. I'm just going to relax and listen. Thank you, Spirit. Okay, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed that, and if so, I'm glad, and I'm happy you guys come to my channel and enjoy your reading. Hi guys, and welcome to my channel. If you're new here, welcome, and thank you for coming and checking out the channel. And if you're returning, thank you for your continued support, your likes, your subscribes. I appreciate you all very much. Thank you. I'm doing Virgo today. So these messages have been pretty, I always say crazy, not crazy, but they've just been, there's a lot of energy going down right now. Like, there always is, but it just feels really, at least in my chart. And by the way, you guys, check out your chart. I'm going to try to put a link under the video so you can get your chart at Cafe Astrology and kind of look. North Node energy has been coming in a lot. We are getting ready to have that nodal switch. And then yesterday during the Taurus reading, the MC came in through a deck that I am using, so which is your midheaven. So it's kind of interesting to see. So let me kind of show you a chart. And usually at Cafe Astrology, you guys, you go all the way to the bottom after you type in all your information, and there'll be a circle chart like this, and this is your chart. So you can see my MC. That's what the MC will be. It is in Gemini, so it's actually kind of, yeah, it's in Gemini, and it's kind of on the cusp between the 9th and 10th house. These are the houses. Each house has a ruling. You can always learn more about that from like a nice astrologer site. I watch Lunatic Astrology. I watch Raka, I think's her name. It's fun stuff, you guys, and it will make you feel a lot more knowledgeable when readers or anything that's talking about like planet placements or houses and stuff like that. But we just, maybe, eventually I'll do a little run through on all the houses and stuff for everybody. So let's start with Virgo. So I'm starting with a overall energy. These are like the major arcanas, you guys. This will be for Virgo. I do want to say my little prayer. Thank you, Spirit, for your guidance, protection, and unconditional love. I am grateful for all known and unknown, seen and unseen, divine energy, guiding, allowing, and protecting us as we receive these messages with an open heart and mind. I pray these messages of healing and protection reach those who need them and those who will fully embrace and express their own divine energy for the highest and most loving good. As we walk on the path of love, healing, and redemption, may your healing light touch, taint, and transmute all darkness with understanding, acceptance, and faith in the holy light of love. Amen, and thank you, Spirit. I have been getting the protection message, and I've kind of been talking about it this last month, how it seems to be there is energies, and it's coming through people, it's coming through situations in your life that might be triggering you or trying to pull you in to kind of leaving your solid foundation you have within yourself, maybe getting roughed up in whatever other people are in. And I would highly suggest staying centered at this time. There's a lot of energies. You got judgment. This is making a call, making a big choice. This is going to be a big reading. I think you guys might have had judgment your last reading. I'd have to go back and look, but this is usually, and then the star on the bottom, you guys. This is about going, and whenever I get the star, it's that North Node energy too, so check out your North Node energy. This is also about being very, very called and feeling very, very inclined to change something, usually to release something, change something, take a new path maybe. You could be really contemplating doing something, and you have a big choice to make. And one is going to be in service, or I would say, yes, more so in service to the divine energy, God, what have you, your highest self. The other one might be a more earthly route or path. So whenever I see judgment, I feel like it means really committing yourself to your practice, especially spiritual practices, you guys. It could be committing yourself to something outside of spirituality too. It could be just a real strong commitment to moving or setting a goal and staying to it, but it's going to help you grow. Whenever we get the judgment call, it's going to help us grow spiritually, no matter which area of life it's the call is being called in. So let's go ahead and get a little more for you, Virgo. I do want to just get one of these. I've kind of been doing these different for every sign. It's just whatever's kind of calling to me. I'm pulling a card for them. These have been a little bit longer, you guys. I can't help the way I read. So we just going to go with the Ten of Wands, the overburdened beetle. Releasing burdens. That's probably what this judgment call is about, is releasing some burdens. Now, a lot of the times I'll look at the Ten of Wands, and I feel the Ten of Wands, most importantly, as past life stuff, ancestral stuff you're carrying that you don't understand, like why it's so powerful, why it's so heavy, why does it feel like so much work? Because you're usually trying to heal something or finish something, complete something that has been ongoing for maybe this whole lifetime, maybe lifetimes before. So this feels like a very, very, it can feel very like, it's almost like being left, like, here's the example coming to my mind, like being left your grandma's or your mom's like house that has all like a whole hoard in it, right? And you're like, oh, but you're like left this to go through and to decide what's of value. That can be spiritual, that can be mental, that can be physical. Like, what is of value to you? You have to complete, it's like, you have to complete this challenge, and there is determination with the Ten of Wands to get through it, even if it's challenging you, even if it's because it feels very important to finish closing out whatever this is, healing, karma, carrying, it could be a really long process of like work too, like physical work that you're doing here. This can be many things. This is a general reading, you guys, but this is a big, strong feeling of you being called to finish this up, to finish up whatever this is, whether this is a job, healing, releasing some things that you're carrying and you have been for a very, very long time. We are going to get some more on this, Virgo. But yeah, there's definitely too much, and Spirit's saying, hey, you need to look at what you're doing for yourself, and there is some things you need to release here, and you need to be done with. It's the end of a very long, to me, the Ten of Wands is a long spiritual, it's passionate, it's spiritual. It could be like releasing old, like, it's fire, so it could be like anger runs in the family, or being extremely passionate about doing something and not quite understanding, like, maybe it doesn't come straight from, like, and with that North Node energy there, the star underneath, it makes me feel like you could be at the end of completing your, it's kind of how I felt this whole thing, like the whole beginning of my youth and my young adulthood. I was going through stuff that was just absolutely crazy, and I was making the choices, and I was going through the motions, and I was making bad choices, and then turning around and then having to heal those, having to really realize, like, and some of it's like unexplainably, like, why was that feeling there when I was like, little? Like, why did I have this strong, like, and sometimes it was yucky feelings, and it was like, oh my gosh, this stuff's, I'm carrying stuff that's just, there's no reason for me to believe that this feeling is coming from anywhere in my life, but I got to get through it because it's part of me. It's my job to do this. So there is feeling like, you could be getting ready to finish up that part of your journey and start on your North Node stuff, really be able to focus on. And that's also really intense too, because you're going from really intense stuff that's absolutely like, sometimes does not feel like it belongs to you, but it does. And you feel very driven and very determined to do the work, whether this is spiritual work, or just staying dedicated to like a job, maybe in the past, like ancestors didn't hold jobs or something like that, and you feel compelled to change that, or go to college, or, it could be a multitude of things, you guys. But there's a feeling here of needing to come to the end of that and realize that you're kind of done with whoever this reading is for. You're done carrying this. So now it's kind of time to maybe start feeling what is calling to you now to pull you forward to this lifetime's work and journey and destiny. With that North Node energy, the Fool. Yes, this is it. Taking that leap of faith, releasing the burden so that you can be free. I do look at the Fool as freedom, a sense of freedom and joy and happy, and trusting in the process of releasing whatever this is you're carrying, and definitely taking that leap of faith into the unknown, because we really, but we have to release what we're doing. We have to finish what we're doing to start something new. And this is a sense of freedom and being absolutely, and not having all these burdens. Whatever this is, you'll know, if this is your reading, what the things are that are just, maybe you got into a relationship or a job, or you started doing something that you were very compelled to do. And it was to heal something or learn something that needed learned. And now you're like, why am I in this space right now? Like, why is this happening? It's like, because you were working through some things. You had some work to do. The work is almost at completion, and then there's a feeling of being freed. I've had this in my journey where it was like all of a sudden like shackles, and it felt like I was like bonded to certain things, and like it was crazy. Like it felt so crazy. Like I'm like, oh my gosh, and then you get the choice. It doesn't mean like your relationship or whatever. It could be going through a huge shift, or your job situation could be going through a huge shift, and you felt like bound to it, like you had something to prove there or something. And it's like it's kind of and then all of a sudden it's just that feeling of needing to prove something or do something more isn't there, and you're like, well, then why am I here if I don't need to prove anything or do anything? And I just feel kind of, whoa, like it's kind of crazy. It's like a ride being over or something, and then it's like, now what am I going to do? And you can recommit to, you will have the choice to recommit. It isn't like just everything kind of getting shoved on you and somebody saying walk with it. It's like you'll have the choice to commit to what you want to do fully, with knowing now. Like that's the Fool too. It's like knowing and trusting that, yes, I'm starting a new chapter. I'm starting a new part of my journey, and I'm trusting in that. And yeah, that's really nice. So you could have just gotten this feeling, and then the Ace of Wands. It did come out a little reverse, so you could be feeling a little, well, I always feel this, it's tired, it's exhausted from doing a lot of work, and it can be exhausting for the spirit, exhausting for your passion. I feel like with the Judgment card here, you're being asked to kind of get that, there's a opportunity here to use your spiritual strength to finish doing something, and that's the Judgment call. using that strength, that passion, that little bit of spark and energy and fire we save for ourselves. We need to use that at this point to make that shift into the new, and just lighten up our load. That's what it's feeling like. So the Ace of Wands is just really asking you to use this little spark that's coming in, or this little bit of energy, to burn away the burdens, to finish up something so that you can make a call to trust and take a leap of faith in a direction that you're now meant to go. You might have been kind of lingering in this spot of Ten of Wands for a while, because it does require us to do hard things that we don't understand why we need to do, or why we feel compelled to stay. But you could be feeling like, okay, I'm done with this, but now it's really hard to leave this because I've been doing it so long. That's what I am feeling. We got that Five of Swords. Yes, okay. So this is conflict. This is what I was just feeling. You could be really conflicted about leaving something behind, and just going and doing something on your own for you. This could be, anything, because you've been doing something for something else, someone else, whether this is what's to heal, DNA stuff, ancestral stuff, or just stuff in your life, doing the work to heal stuff that you've needed to do in your life today. But you are being asked to kind of, and you may also, with the Judgment and the Fool here, you may be doubting your path. You may be doubting your faith. You may be questioning whether or not, wow, this is a really strong message. You may be doubting whether or not, this spiritual strength or this spiritual energy is even residing within you. And I can tell you right now, it is. This is Judgment. So it's making that call to have that freedom, and it feels very rebirthy too. It feels like, wow, I'm having a chance to release all this old, whether it's karmic stuff or ancestral stuff or whatever. But in order to have that new opportunity, you have to trust that this opportunity is given to us by God, and it's something we have to almost, it's just, we embrace and thank and show gratitude for this opportunity to move forward, free ourselves of old burdens. This could be guilt, this could be shames, this could be failures that you feel like you've had in your life, or your ancestors have had, and it's oh, well, we're a poor family, we never had money or anything because nobody ever stuck to a job, or maybe it was just the conditions, because it's past cyclic stuff. And there's a cycle being broke here, I feel like, by you, Virgo, where you're being called to step out on your own now and trust and have faith in your spiritual strength, where you could be doubting your own spiritual strength. So sometimes this Five of Wands it's conflict. It's inner conflict about, do I stop doing what I'm doing? Do I trust in this spiritual energy I'm feeling, or do I just stay where I'm at? This is going to be for you to answer. I'm here to help, but I'm not here to tell you what to do. But Five of Wands is also fighting, and knowing that somebody or something is going to be hurt or left behind, or sometimes you gotta, there's always more meanings to these cards than just one. But this Five of Swords can be conflict with others, and it can mean those closest to us maybe even getting hurt, so that we can pursue our goals and our dreams and our life. You might have been taking care of something in the family or something, and everybody depends on you for that, and now it's time to make a call to do, or this could even be about spirituality or religion or something, where long time you've been in one sector of spirituality, or some kind of situation where it's man, maybe that's not me, maybe I need to leave this group, or leave this situation, or leave this job for me. And yes, people are going to be disappointed, they're going to be hurt. It's with the Five of Wands, it is about doing it, not cruelly, though. It's important to note that we don't have to, it is a fight. It can be a fight for your own freedom from people that are maybe bringing you down, maybe a job that just isn't in alignment with you anymore, anything like that. It's a huge call right here with the Ace of Wands right in the middle, a new spiritual beginning. So this could very well have to do with your beliefs and spirituality, stuff like that, or it could just have something to do with something passionate, a passionate endeavor that you've been really passionate about, and now you're I want to do something else, but I'm already invested so much in this. It's time to move on to this new thing, because there's something new coming in here. But you could be feeling very conflicted about it. You could be feeling like it could hurt people's feelings, or, just, there's a lot of feelings that go with that. But this is really a strong reading, Virgo, about trusting in your spiritual strength and taking a really good, hard, honest look at what you want now after doing something, carrying something. This could be extremely painful burdens. It can be extremely exhausting, and it did come out reversed. I feel like there's a lot of exhaustion here. It's like, I don't know if I can, but don't, this is about like not getting like dirty about it, but definitely standing your ground. And in spite of how it looks to others or how it feels even, you have to make a call here. And this could be a very hard choice you're dealing with. 7 of Stars in the heart. So this is like the 7 of Earth. So this is like the 7 of Pentacles, and it's reevaluation. You are searching your heart for the right thing to do right now, if this is your reading. If it's not, leave it for somebody else. But this is reevaluating, like, what is your, for one, am I strong enough? Am I, do I have enough energy? Do I have enough spiritual strength to make this work or change something to create a different reality for me, a different job, a different path, a different whatever this is. There could be a lot of reevaluation here in your heart space about like how you feel about what you're doing here on the earth, thinking about like, what is my purpose? I know what my purpose has been, I know what I've been doing, but it just feels like something else could be calling you to like reevaluate in your heart, like what feels like it's now something you could invest yourself in wholeheartedly. That's the thing. This isn't like a wholehearted thing. I mean, you're determined. It's a very mind, like, and it is passionate, and you feel a lot of fire behind it because it's like spiritual. It's energetic. You got to like get through this, like all these energies that are just like coming at you left and right. When it clears up, it's like, okay, like, what do I do now? Like, and you usually will get, with this Judgment card, you'll usually get insight into what you need to do. You need to pay attention to how you're feeling. Like, reevaluate the way you're feeling. Are you feeling exhausted when you're doing something, or do you feel energized? That's another message I'm getting. So if you feel energized, keep going on that path. If you're feeling exhausted and it's draining you, chances are it's burdensome. So that is another message I'm getting. Let's see, why is this evaluation? This has been coming out left and right. 3 days ago, I had a huge download about the Magician, the skull, which I'll just give you a quick little thing. All my life, I've kind of had a stigma or taboo attached to the symbol of the skull and the bones. And I never thought about it. I never questioned why. It always creeped me out. I always didn't want nothing to do with it. And the other day I was talking to my husband, and I said, I'm not sure why I don't like skulls or skull tattoos or skull t-shirts. I said, but I have a different meaning for the skull now. This, doing tarot and opening and expanding my mind and my thought behind symbols and what everything really means, or what we've been taught it means, like the conditioning, like the illusion and the reality. There's been a bunch coming in here. I've been busy up here. It's been busy. But the Death card, this is transformation, a spiritual transformation, a spiritual death, so to say. The dying of old energy that you've been carrying for a rebirth, a transformation, to rid yourself of some kind of exhaustion. If this is, on the other hand, you've already released the burdens and now you are just feeling exhausted, it's a call to see what makes you feel energized in your heart space, and kind of, it could mean trying something new, maybe a new hobby, maybe new music, maybe something different, to see if it gives you a little more energy or a little spiritual inspiration. I do feel that as a message, like to be like spiritually inspired, kind of look at maybe some different things. If you've been doing one thing and you're not getting the results, of like energy to kind of stop being conflicted about like what you're being asked to step into, which is a lot of transformation. And I feel like maybe even the feeling of, well, if I ain't doing this, then what am I, like, it almost feels like if I don't do this, I don't know what to do, and that drains me. That the thought of that makes me upset. So it's just about evaluating that in your heart and kind of going through like this evaluation of, okay, why am I tired, and what can I do differently to nurture what I want? If you want to keep I just feel like you're at the end of carrying a lot of burdens. But, you know, sometimes it's really hard to let go of those things if that's what we've been doing for a very, very long time. If we've been shaming ourselves, or we've been living in a space where it's like, you know, it could be something just, it's making a big impact in your life. It's made a big impact. It's a huge, huge part of your journey. It's just, I feel like it's just about reevaluating that, because there is, and you are doing that. You are trying to feel how you could do something differently, or what is it you want to nurture, or is this feeling fruitful or not? I know you're probably feeling tired, but there is a conflict that needs resolved here. And I feel like it's a conflict over you leaving something behind. You could be leaving something behind that's making you feel quite maybe shamed, guilty, or this could have been something you did. You took the leap of faith. You went out on your own and you left a situation, a group, a family, a partnership, a job, and it's left you feeling heavy-hearted. But this is all part of your growth and your journey, especially spiritual growth and transformation. So judgment could be saying, release the guilt and shame of leaving something behind and choosing to free yourself. That's another message I'm getting. So I'm going to put 2 of these oracles in, and I'm going to read them at the very end of the reading, Virgo. We're going to see here Genesis. This is that DNA. I'm feeling that. It feels like you've had to do a lot of DNA healing. Yes, lineal truth. And we are going to read those at the end, you guys. And that's that tree. The tree always symbolizes to me family trees, family roots. What we're growing from our roots. Maybe you had to do a lot of root healing, genetic, looking at your DNA, your ancestral lineage. This has been coming in for a lot of people. I feel like a lot of people are doing this, getting freed up from the burdens that we've been carrying, trying to heal past trauma and past just lots of stuff being healed and released. And so we can all kind of get in on our path, because we've done the work. If you've been doing this work, you've looked at like why this was like a continuing pattern in your family, or this, and now you've continued carrying it, and now you're like, okay, I figured it out, because I'm sick of carrying this. I'm going to change this. And there is a shift, a change here. Lineal truth and Genesis. And then on the bottom, grounded. So staying anchored. Staying grounded at this time is going to be very important, Virgo. This transformation card, man, it just keeps so much going on right now with everybody transforming and releasing and choosing their spiritual path forward, making that judgment call for themselves. Being our biggest judge, you know, saying, do I deserve to carry this forever? Do I deserve to live like this forever? That's not what God wants. That's not, no, we joy, love, understanding. These are all, you know, it is kind of like Christ-like thinking, you know. It's like there's burdens that it even reminds me of the thorn crown that this beetle is carrying. And it's just, these burdens separate us from our full connection that we can have with our highest selves. We got the diplomat. Yeah, this could be even political and stuff that runs in your family. Strong beliefs, strong pomegranate. Something really fruitful and abundant here, and also fertile. Could have to do with even, I always see like children when I see the pomegranate too. And the figure by the fire. And the cat on the bottom. Okay, so let's go ahead and look at the diplomat real quick. Balance, negotiation, mediation, justice, and making peace. Yes, making peace with the past, with some kind of choice maybe you've already made, or you're getting ready to make a choice for yourself to transform yourself, or something in your life, probably the whole shebang, and that's what it's feeling like. It's feeling very big. It says the diplomat is a force of justice and balance. This is this judgment call. It's like, what is fair? What is balanced? Is it fair? Is it balanced? And that you do all this work and you still continue to suffer. You still continue to put that shame or that guilt on yourself or another, you guys. We need to understand that we're all human and we're all here to learn and grow, and we all go through really rough stuff that we're absolutely not proud of. And but there's a time when we have to stop being in that suffering and say, I am proud of myself. I have learned. I have grown. I'm not that person that made those choices I've changed, and I don't deserve to keep carrying these burdens. I deserve to move forward. That's what I am getting. And it almost makes me really emotional, you guys, because I have been here. Most obstacles cannot be overcome simply by showing of force. Instead, require peaceful and planned effort to work with others. This card indicates a need to resolve matters through communication or find balance of two opposing forces. Yes, like what I want and what maybe I need to do. Like, I need to finish this, but I want to be free. It could even be the conflict of finishing something up. Like, it could be kind of like, oh, maybe you want to start doing you before the job is completely done. And it's saying, you know, that conflict, it needs, like, talked about. You need to, there could be negotiation stuff to make it fair for everybody, because the Five of Swords is not fair for anybody. Really, nobody wins. It feels just very imbalanced. But with that Five of Swords, if there's an apology, it could mean making peace with something from the past to release the burdens. This could mean facing something that you have done in your life and releasing that through communication, talking to somebody about it, making amends, so that this Five of Swords isn't lingering in your energy like I handled that the wrong way, or I could have, you know, made amends or apologized or made peace with this family or this group or this job or whatever it is, you guys. That's what I'm getting there. It may be difficult to reach agreements, but the diplomat approaches conflict with confidence and a willingness to work with others. And that is staying dedicated to, you know, closing the deal, talking until, I mean, this can mean coming to the same person or the same group or the same several times, patiently working on an agreement, working on some kind of peace. And it's just better for everybody. You know, this feels very big. It feels very big, Virgo, the pomegranate. But this peace will benefit. So if you're thinking, I don't need to make peace with that, there is a feeling here in this reading saying, yes, that's part of releasing this burden. That's what I am getting. So, here we go. The pomegranate. Desire, temptation, sexuality, fertility, and yearning. Whew. Okay, so this could be, I'm getting a couple things. So there's desire, temptation, sexuality, fertility. This could be making amends, making peace with somebody from your life, and with the DNA and stuff here. There could have been a serious, like, ancestral, like, this can be cheating, this can be addiction, this can be even the way you've raised your kids, or you wanting to have kids or not being able to have kids or having kids, or it could be a multitude of things that have been kind of passed down. I feel like that you've been carrying, and it could lead you into this feeling of feeling tempted, or like that's your fate, is to continue to carry this old baggage or old weight that's not yours. You're being asked to finish it up, and you may have to apologize or make peace with something that you have done or been working on, and, you know, just say, you know, and take responsibility and say, you know, I did make this choice, and no reasoning, because not everybody's going to understand, oh, well, this runs in my family, this runs in my ancestry, this runs in my DNA. It's just truly feeling, and that could be judgment too, truly feeling sorry, truly feeling like you do need to, like, wanting redemption, wanting to repent. And this could be, you could feel like, why should I repent for something that wasn't even, like, all my fault? It doesn't matter. That's not what this whole energy coming through is about. Our responsibility in our lives. And even if we've made choices from an immature state of mind, or we made choices from a youthful place and it was bad, we're still sorry. If your heart says, you know, evaluation in your heart, showing, nurturing, you know, hey, I don't have any reasons or anything why I can just say I'm sorry. And there will be reasons, though. You will find reasons that you reacted to things certain ways, and there'll be, like, emotional, probably deep emotional reasons, like why you handled something a certain way, and you'll have to go, oh, that wasn't the way to handle that, like I could have handled that better so nobody got hurt, I could have, you know, communicated differently, something like that. It says pomegranates are a symbol of desire, temptations, fertility, lust, and sexuality. You may have a hunger that needs satisfying, or there may be an object or opportunity you wish to reach out and grasp. Giving into temptation and indulging in our desires can be either healthy or dangerous. And this is your reading. You will have to decide that. If they are truly healthy and worth it to reach out and take. This card may be advising you to reach out and seize your desires just as easily as it might be a warning to to be cautious of vices. And I was feeling that, like addictions, and this could be temptations, this could be leaving a partnership that you've been dedicated to for a long time. You're going to have to search your heart and decide what's best for you. But if this is something truly you desire, I would say less on lust and addiction and more on passion and like spiritual, like you'll feel the difference in your heart, whether this is just giving into some kind of, you know, compulsion, or if this is a real, and that could be why you're reevaluating in your heart. It's like, is this a choice I'm making for my heart, or is this a choice I'm making because of some kind of, it feels deep-seated. That's what I will say. So that's very interesting. In the sky, Eros, a small and oddly shaped asteroid named for the god, associated with both love and lust. Is this love or is this lust? In astrology, it often deals with the things that bring us pleasure or satisfaction. You have a big judgment call to make, or you already have made one, and you could be re-examining that choice. If you haven't made this choice, it's asking you to re-examine the decisions and choices you're getting ready to make, because this is a big judgment call. This can shift a lot of things in your life, and most importantly, your energetic or spiritual energy path. Authenticity. You know, sometimes it's authentic to say, I don't want to be a part of this family, or I don't want to be rooted down, or I don't want to be, you know, and that could be your true authentic nature, and that could just be who you are. Then there's another side. It's like, oh, but I really love that pretty thing, or that addiction, or that crutch, and it just makes me feel better. And you could be talking yourself into something making you feel better, and you have to go in and really decide whether this is what is true to you, or this is something you're carrying. Okay, that's what I am getting. This is a very powerful message, Virgo, so I really hope it reaches who it needs to reach, because it feels like a very big choice and a very big transformation. There's definitely something transforming here, huge. The figure by the fire, cultivation, reward, labor, nurturing, and producing. Yes, like, am I nurturing something, and what is it producing? What is this a resting alone, avoidance, and lonely. You could be avoiding it too. You could be avoiding following a passion, following something you feel in your soul is right for you. You could be avoiding that because you are, you know, trying to be fair or balanced. And I feel like in order for it to be fair or balanced, if there is communication needed to be more honest or front forth about the path or the feelings you're having or anything like that, that needs to be spoke about. If not, that's going to be your call, Virgo. But it does feel like a big choice here. And it could mean sitting with yourself and evaluating what the feeling, and evaluating the difference between the love and the lust, the passion and the desire. And is this bigger than just a burden you're carrying, or an addiction, or something like that? This is a really strange message, but I hope it helps somebody. Yeah, it indicates a desire or need to withdraw. It may be time to regain your strength or dive deeply into your own heart. Yeah, I'm feeling that. You need to search your own heart right now. With the 7 of Stars here, and the figure by the fire, and the balance, there's something here that feels like in order for you to transform and release this burden, you're going to have to be straight with yourself on your feelings and in your heart, and find out where your heart's at, and if you're making the right choice for yourself and those around you, or if you're being self-serving and not thinking of other people. That's also another message. You know, if it doesn't fit, it doesn't fit, but if it does, that could be too. There's a lot going on in this reading. Whether we're retreating from hard circumstances or forced to take time alone against our will, the figure by the fire calls us to take things slowly. Benefit from your solitude in the ways that you can. This card indicates a time for rest, stillness, and deep contemplation. Don't worry yourself with others if you can avoid it. Even if you are feeling lonely, there can often can be much to gain from time by yourself. And in the sky is the smoke from the man with the fire. And it says exhaust shows us that fuel is being burned, but usually not without reason. That's it. There's something that's been draining you, and there is a reason. And, you know, it's to and I feel like that's a huge thing with the fire too, another side message, guys. But it's related. Like, so our ancestors and the fire, without the fire, they would have stayed alive. And it took a lot of work to keep the fire burning. So it's like keeping something going and continuing to do the work, even though it's hard and it's exhausting to stay up all night and feed the fire, do the work. benefits for later generations, which is also this Genesis and this, this DNA energy and this tree energy and this pomegranate energy with and I was feeling the children and, for your future, for, there's just some kind of work you've had to be doing that's exhausting, that's going to help benefit deep future, your DNA, your ancestral, the ancestral imprint you leave on your children, your children's children, and it may have felt exhausting. As a smoke is sometimes associated with signals that we might be sending to other people. And in some cultures, it is even a way of sending messages to the gods. So you could even have been doing something some heavy lifting, heavy spiritual lifting. And it's like the whole time you've been doing this, there is messages sent out while we're doing this work. And it's that I'm determined to get through this, there's a determination here I'm feeling that's, but it feels very it does feel upsetting, Virgo. I'm not going to say this doesn't, but it also feels like you could really be working on freeing yourself from something here. And you just need to go into your heart and really look at yourself and make a true, honest judgment call on yourself. Do I amend this? Do I apologize? Do I make this right because I made a bad choice? Or maybe did I make a good choice? And now I need to release the guilt and the shame of that. Either way, this can go many ways, you guys, but that's kind of what I'm getting here. So let's go ahead and look at those oracle cards now. So we got the Genesis, which again is that DNA, and we got the lineal truth. Genesis. Here we go. I opened right up to it. And then that death card at the bottom, guys. It's just, this feels exhausting, but it's a transformation that is happening. And it's just time. It's time to be honest, be fair, be balanced about whatever this situation is. You are experiencing a dark night of the soul. It's a time when your soul enters into a type of war. Like crisis, where spiritual beliefs are questioned or enter a state of total collapse. This is real energy, you guys. I knew this was feeling really, really big. Something has occurred which has caused you to pause and begin to reassess everything that you have previously believed in. I was feeling that change in spirituality, or that change in, if you're part of a religion or a church or something like that. It could just be something you're just really reevaluating, or you could be even dropping completely out of that. But I'm going to say my own words here and say, stick with God, Spirit, your highest self, because it is sad when we lose touch with, and that does happen. You make a lot of bad choices. You could go for desires and lusts over your mission or your what you're trying to actually heal here on earth. We can make really surface kind of level decisions for ourselves that can really slow down the process of healing, releasing, and moving forward with a new passion, a new spirit, a new spiritual beginning. So try to think about if you're hindering or helping your new spiritual beginning. This feels like it's for different people. Like some have already done this and they're now trying to heal and make amends and like all the redemption and that stuff. And then there's another energy that's like, this hasn't quite, but there's like the possibility of making those choices now. It's okay. Okay, sorry. I swear I heard something outside the door. Something has occurred which has caused you to pause and begin to reassess everything that you have previously believed in. This may be a minor dark night, like a little dark night of the soul, or one which is life-altering. This is feeling like it can be huge because of the death card. It could mean it's detrimental, like this choice or this decision or this reevaluation of where your heart's at is detrimental right now. It's a crossroad. Each dark night of the soul that you go through, a rebirth occurs in which your consciousness is elevated and transformed yet again. Whole new way of seeing things, whole new way of being, whole new way of understanding your heart, your freedom, the stuff you've been carrying. Like there could be some stuff you're really like, I don't know whether to believe this or what this is about, but it's just really doing that evaluation so you can have it could be just dropping some things out of your life that open up your mind more to seeing a bigger picture too. This is really big. Whatever this is multiple messages I'm getting in this about so many things, you guys. This rebirth is not without its pain and sadness, as many beliefs and ideas have needed to experience their deaths to make room for your spiritual expansion. You could have been telling yourself that you don't need to make amends, or you don't need to, or you're too tired to do this or do that, or there's so much here. This is huge, you guys, and I am feeling for you right now, because these cards are absolutely power. I'm not showing the power in this reading. It's just, I'm just trying to stay calm. It just feels very, feels like you're being called out in your heart. It feels like this is a really important decision to release some kind of belief, or something, maybe even actual physical stuff, or a position that you stand in and you feel like passionate about. It's just very interesting, you guys. The remaining beliefs can now be concentrated. Oh, here we go. They have died and are continuing to die. The beliefs, and this is for your spiritual expansion, okay? They have died and are continuing to die, so that your new and altered beliefs have the space to breathe and grow. Your remaining beliefs can now be concentrated on more and given the attention they deserve. Being gentle and kind to yourself is a must. Spend time sorting through what you are thinking and feeling. Journaling and meditation can provide you with the time, space, and peace needed to deal with this. Each lifetime you will go through many dark nights, and your soul has experienced this many times in previous lives. Trust in your soul, that faith, that full trust in your soul. You may not be having a lot of trust in the process right now, so if you are questioning the process, or you're feeling a lack of faith, I pray you do search your heart and your soul, and you can see and understand how many times it's been okay, and how many times the divine has come through in really strange ways. Whether this is, and pay attention, you guys, because I'm gonna ask that your angels and your guides and your ancestors send you a sign to help you through if you are going through some dark night of the soul stuff, and you need inspiration to be more authentic, to be more honest, to be more pure in your heart, maybe to make release some really heavy burdens that you've been carrying. I pray that whoever is watching this video, Virgo or not, can be shown that they are being supported by you, God. I really do. It's hard stuff, you guys, and it's crazy, because maybe a penny will show up for you, maybe a feather will show up for you, and just remember, yes, there's pennies everywhere, yes, there's feathers everywhere. That one's for you. So keep that in mind, okay? And thank you, Spirit. Amen. Thank you. Okay, so this feels really, really heavy, you guys, but it feels really like it could be really freeing you too from like an entrapped feeling of maybe even being trapped within your own heart, your own mind, about maybe your worth, maybe your value, maybe your purpose, something like that. Trust in your soul, and it knows what to do. Do trust in your soul. It does know what to do. Try not to see this event as one of distress, but as a chance to experience a rebirth and a rejuvenation of yourself and your beliefs. Standing up for your spirit. Your spirit has your back. You need to have your spirit's back. I am feeling that. Lineal truth. Let me find it, guys. And thank you for sticking by and watching your guys' readings. I appreciate it. I know these readings are a little long, guys, but I like to get as much guidance as I can in hopefully under an hour for you guys, because, you know, I don't know when I've been trying to put out more readings, but I just don't know when I'm going to need the break, because this does take, especially readings like this, they're big, and it takes a lot of energy. I feel this. It's a lot. There is an old wound, an old curse. This is what I'm feeling, you guys, that you're breaking. You're breaking free from something you've been carrying. DNA stuff, ancestry stuff. This is big, big, big. And if this means being honest and authentic and saying, yes, I did this, and I'm pretty sure it's something I need to heal, and I need to be honest about, and I need to be forthcoming about, and I need to be honest with myself, and I need to evaluate where my heart's at, and in comparison to what I've been doing or what I want to do. You know, where am I at, like in my soul? This is fairly big energy, you guys. So it's an old curse that belongs not only to you, but also your ancestors. I have been feeling this, you guys. And it's crazy because I went through a lot of this kind of stuff. And I'm like, I finally this year, and this is after years of working on this and facing all the horrible shit I've done and the horrible choices I've made, and having to just really evaluate like my decisions and my whole everything, you guys. It's been crazy. I have a lot of Virgo in my chart, you guys. So and speaking of that, we are getting ready to have what do we got? Virgo, Mars going into Virgo on the 10th, I believe it is. So I think, yeah, so that's going to be really big too, you guys. You'll feel that too. And especially if you have other things in Virgo, and there's like a trine between like the North Node and I think it's Saturn, could be Jupiter, but, and Mars. So that's going to be like a 5-day, 6-day thing too. But that's crazy, you guys. This is a big message. Before your soul entered its current vessel, this wound occurred within one soul, and it has been allowed to reverberate continuously down your ancestral line. You are able to feel that pain and see what it has done to others in your family. You can see how others have attempted to cover it up. That's what to conceal it from the outside world. Okay, so I was going down my rabbit hole and my ancestry stuff, and you know, there's been a lot, and every family has like those hidden secrets, like for instance, you know, then they don't want to talk about it. I remember when my grandma was alive, I was like, who's my mom's real dad? Can you give me a name or anything? Because my mom wasn't raised by her real dad, because I believe, and my grandma's passed now, and I love my grandma so much, but she was definitely didn't want to be seen a certain way. I'm sure she didn't want my mom being seen a certain way, and it was like an old-fashioned belief, and everybody was just like, hey, we don't talk about that. But it really sucks for the future generation that's like trying to figure out like where their blood comes from or where their lineage has traveled, and they can't even find it because nobody's been honest about the infidelities or the infidelities and the lots of stuff, adoptions, infidelities, addictions. Everybody just kind of swept stuff under the rug, and we're at that point now, guys, where we can be a lot more honest about and you know, say, you know what, you can judge me if you want, but this is the only way to heal this. This is the only way to acknowledgement is the first step to sifting through, understanding, and healing what has been. So that's really powerful. See what it has done to others in your family. You can see how others have attempted to cover it up and to conceal it from the outside world. While it is not up to you to solve what happened, you can take the responsibility to make peace with the wound. When a wound has its bandages removed, it's and is acknowledged and illuminated, it is finally offered the opportunity to heal. You are in a position, and this is interesting because it's like my infidelities, and I wasn't married. My kids all aren't from the same father, and I don't go into personal stuff a lot on these videos, you guys, but this is a wound, you know, and it's hard to talk about that. You know, I wasn't married until my husband now, and even then, you know, there was a lot. We had drug addiction, we had alcohol addiction, there was abuse, there was infidelity on my part. I had another child from somebody else, not while I was married, but before we got married, and it was like, oh, we're fighting, and I went and I got pregnant, and not purposely, you guys, but I wasn't responsible. I have a lot of stuff, you guys. It's crazy, and I'm by no means I've not had a perfect life. I'm not a perfect person. I'm human. But I have had to do a lot of healing on like why I make the choices I made, and why the impulsions, the impulsive behaviors, the extreme emotional reactions, and the extreme emotional pain that came with rejection, self-worth issues, stuff like that. This is a big reading, you guys, and this is hitting home. And then I also have where I was, you know, I've lied about my infidelities. I've said I didn't. I said, oh, I've said everything when I didn't say everything, because I was scared. I believe it's because of fear of being rejected more, called more names, maybe abused, you know, more. It's just, there was just so much, you guys. And wow, this is really, really personal. I'm not trying to make this personal, but, and there's like a little ant. I'm going to look up the ant, spirit animal too. I think that might be a sign or something. It's very interesting, you guys. And everything's good now, you guys, but it's been a really, really long, hard road, Virgo. And if you're at this point, you have love in your heart. You're not a bad person. Your addictions Your faults as a human being don't make you unworthy, don't make you unworthy of love, don't make you unworthy of understanding. We have to understand and love ourselves first and foremost, and know that we have the support of our ancestors and God with us, even at these really hard times when we might not, when we feel like, man, I can't make this balance, but we can, if it's something we can say we're sorry for, or we can repent for, and we can say, you know, I understand if you don't want anything to do with me at this point, but mind you, I've changed. Mind you, I'm sorry, and mind you, I understand the impact that I've had on your life. And then also, this is to understand how our ancestors' choices and stuff have impacted our lives also, by not, we're taught to, or it's made just even run in the blood. You know, my son's a big DNA person, and he's always like, that stuff runs in the blood, like cheating and lying and stuff like that. And this is stuff we can heal, but we have to be honest about that part of ourselves. Even if it wasn't really our fault and it kind of was passed down to us, it still brings us shame and it still brings us guilt. And this is a huge energy, you guys. It's a huge reading. My heart's with you. I'm definitely feeling this. I'm like, what the heck just happened here? Like, this is crazy. Wow. Whew. Anyway, I'm going to continue reading this, and then we're going to close up your message, Virgo. You are able to feel that pain and see what it has done to others in your family. You can see how others have attempted to cover it up. Oh, I read that. You are in a position to mend a hurt which has affected many souls. And you can prevent it from causing further pain to those who are yet to come into your ancestral line. You will need to spend time with the pain and spend time with those it has affected. This feels like major amends. It feels like, you know, this is emotional. I'm feeling this with you, Virgo. Like I said, trust in your guidance. You'll feel better, and you might have to just sit with the pain like I am right now with you guys. There's a lot of pain in the choices, decisions, people I've hurt in my life. I have been hurt, but that's no excuse or reason to not repent and be sorry for the pain I've caused, etc. Ow. I didn't see this coming. Spirit works like this, though. And it's releasing this burden. And knowing that this is the end of a long, long battle, a long, long journey. So you can be free and trust in your process, trust in the healing process, trust in the insight that you do gain from within and outside of yourself. I am going to look up the ant. It could be about doing that hard work, because I really do know that the ant, it's also about that community and that. It's interesting. You guys, so you will need to spend time with the pain and spend time with those it's affected. Ask your guides and angels for assistance. Ask them to infuse the space of pain with their healing white light. Be the one who mends the lineal wound, who breaks the generational curse. Talk about it. Talk about it. Share it. Evaluate your heart. I can guarantee this. Look at this, you guys. This is crazy. There's so much. The little ant. Yeah, he's walking around over here, guys. Anyway, this is crazy how he came into the reading, and I don't know, I'm definitely going to look that up. But Virgo, this was a really emotional reading for me, because Lord knows, God knows, I've had to apologize and continuously search my heart and search my soul for my truth, my judgment, and wanted forgiveness. From everybody. Everybody I know, everybody I've hurt, everybody that's hurt me, you know, and I've begged for it. And I realize sometimes you're not going to get that from people. That's why we have a judgment call to make. We have to sit with that. We have to sit with the fact that sometimes the only thing we got to do is to share our heart honestly and authentically. And if it doesn't change the mind of many, it can definitely help heal that trauma or that curse, that DNA stuff. We can definitely come forth with the knowing that, hey, it's helping behind the scenes. Even if my life looks like not perfect, I'm healing something for the future. I'm healing something for myself. I'm bringing, I've done some hard work, and it will benefit those I love later, even if they don't see it now. It will benefit me, but I have to make that choice to trust in the process, to trust that I have a new spiritual beginning happening here because I've done the work, I've done the spiritual work, I've done the emotional, deep, hard work, and you deserve that, Virgo. You deserve that peace. You deserve that understanding. It doesn't mean anybody owes us anything. We don't owe that to anybody, but we deserve that, and that's what God wants for us, and that's true love. That's absolutely love and understanding that it's very hard to find on this earth. So I just want you guys to know my heart's with you guys. And I absolutely pray that if you are in this place, you can release these burdens and you can move forward with trust and faith in your own divinity, your own absolutely powerful love that is a part of you. And look at the past as learning, growing, and now releasing, moving forward, healing. This feels like a very healing message for Virgo. So, and a very supportive, encouraging message for you, Virgo. So whoever this reading is for, I'm with you. I've been through a lot of this when I was filling in this reading, and I even got a little personal, and that's okay. It's stuff that needs said. I don't like to talk about this stuff because it doesn't make me feel good about myself, but it's truth, and sometimes the truth hurts, and until we face that, we can't be honest, which means we just keep hiding, and we keep lying, and we keep saying it'll just go away. The pain doesn't go away. But we can heal a lot of the things that caused that reaction, that pain, that moment in our life when we made a choice that we regret deeply. This is a big message, Virgo, so my heart's with you. My thoughts are with you during this time. Whoever this is for, I appreciate you guys coming, watching your reading, showing up, doing your work. Continue healing, continue the hard work, and make the call to stand up to yourself, to others, and own your choices, own your life, own your healing, and own your victory. Because this is not it is not easy in life to carry this feeling of not of something feeling like it's never going to be done. But it is. Spirit is coming in and saying now is the time. You got to make this call to release this burden, the shame, the guilt, and move on. If you're experiencing things in your life where you're not getting that from the people in your life, get that from yourself, get that from God, get that from your angels, your ancestors. You're doing this for a bigger reason. You've went through all of this for a bigger reason, and remembering that is hard. Even trusting that is hard. Trusting that we've came here to heal these things, to bridge these gaps between all these powerful parts of ourselves. And it's just a really big reading, you guys. This might be one of the biggest readings I've ever done. So that's your reading. And Virgo, I appreciate you, and I hope you guys have a wonderful day, and I will talk to you later.